Welcome everybody, my name is MrLlamaSC and today I am bringing you yet another winning in 40 APM or less. Today we are going to go through ZvP defending the +2 7-gate Blink Stalker all-in. So I know a lot of you have trouble dealing with that. I know personally I've had trouble with that in the past. So I'm going to try and show you the low APM version, the decisions that you kind of need to make to really defend it and defend it well. So in this game, I believe I really do showcase that and I'll be able to show you a couple of really nifty tricks and tips that will really help you in the future. So bear with me as we kind of go through the basic opening macro stages of the game. That's just kind of how ZvP works, as I'm sure you know. But I'll kind of give you my decisions as well that I make in how I open up and possibly help you guys open up as well. So in ZvP, I simply take a 15 pool. If you do go for that 15 hatch, they can just can rush you, they can pile on, block you in, and do all that annoying stuff. And then that can just kind of throw you off your game and be very annoying to have to deal with. Other decisions that I'm making at this time in the game: where am I sending my Overlord? Mr. Overlord's going to go right over here. I usually keep him about right there, just off to where he won't be killed, but at the same time he can still see these geysers, because these are so crucial as to what exactly you're going to be doing. So I also take a 14 pool in this game. Normally you take a 15 pool. I think I just wasn't quite thinking, so I took a 14 pool. Go ahead and take a 15 pool if you're going to be doing that. And then I drone up to 16, and I should take an Overlord. Or I guess I'll take my Overlord at 15 possibly this game. Nope, so I'm going to take it at 16. Yeah, so at 16 then you take your Overlord. Here I scout just to make sure. I send that scout out at 14. And I scout just to make sure that he's going for a force fast expand and not a gate expand, so that way I'm not taking my 3 bases. So I see he does go Nexus first. That's totally fine. But back to what I was saying about these geysers. You want your Overlord to see these geysers because it can really be a tell of when he's attacking. If you see neither of these geysers taken and it's like 7 minutes in the game, you should be expecting some sort of 8-minute pressure, 4-gate pressure, something like that coming off of these 2 bases. So that's where you really need to start pumping units out earlier to defend. However, and you'll cut drones of course a little sooner. However, if you see these gases have been taken, you can start expecting maybe a Mortal Sentry. You can be expecting something other than really fast pressure, something maybe that's coming at like 10 minutes, 10:30, so you can drone a little bit more, get out a few more units. So what I do here is I go ahead and I get out those 4 sets of lings. So at 16 I take my Overlord, and then I take lings, and my lings kind of get in the way of this. That was annoying. But basically he'll be annoying with that, blah blah blah, and then I take my hatch here at 21. So it's really it's a little bit of a later hatch, but it's not a terrible thing. Then I'm going to send out another drone to go take my 3rd here fairly shortly as well. So you can build another queen and just kind of get everything going. Then I like to move this Overlord over here as well, just to kind of watch for any sort of pylon or cannon shenanigans. And then I have these 4 lings here that can basically just be at the watchtower to kind of watch what's going on. So like I said, here goes out that next drone, and he's going to drop my 3rd hatch down at 24 supply. So if you do this opening right here, it's very safe. It will always work because he won't be able to block you, and then you're trying to like do this, and then you try and build out your 3rd, and then he's cannon rushing you. I mean, none of that's going to happen because you'll have the lings out by the time you throw this down, and it really does not put you that far behind at all. It's really very, very minimal that you'll fall behind right there, if even falling behind. And then you also get all 3 hatches up pretty safely. So here I'm just injecting, doing my basic stuff. After this inject, I'll probably build another queen, and of course I'm going to need to drone transfer down here once this hatch does finish up at my natural. So I should inject. There's my other queen already on the way, so I can then send this queen down to my next hatchery. And then I'm starting a queen here as well that I can then move over to my 3rd hatchery. So those are just kind of basic decisions that I'm making right now in the game. Once he gets 25 energy, I can inject. And here I go with a little drone transfer. I send 9 drones down there, which leaves me at still a tiny bit oversaturated here, but I'm going to be taking my gases fairly soon. So I'll be able to put guys in the geysers right there, and that will put me down to about 16 or a little less right here. So this queen has popped out. This queen's almost popped, so I'm going to go ahead and inject with these queens right here, and then do I send him? No, I'm going to send the other dude because then I can lay a creep tumor down as well. So just small little decisions like this, right? Just small things. Also, note that I have seen his assimilator right up here, so I know that he is not going to be going most likely for that 4-gate early aggression because he is mining from that gas as well. So that's something to note. And of course, when they are on 3 gases, it's also very that's usually a tell that it's going to be something like a 7 gate or an 8 gate all in or something along those lines. I mean, it can be a lot of things. It could be Stargate. There's a lot of things that it could be, but it's not going to be that early pressure, and it's generally not going to be some sort of like Immortal Sentry all in because, hey, he's not on the 4 gas, and for Immortals and Sentries, you need a ton of gas, as I'm sure you guys know. So I have taken all of my, or 4 of my gases right here. And I actually took this one a little earlier, took that one at like 6 minutes. I took these a little bit later, and now I can see that he's coming out with these Stalkers right here, so I'm going to go ahead and be a little careful. I'm going to lose these Lings right here, which is fine, but now I know, okay, he has Stalkers out. I should be kind of worried possibly for some sort of blink all in that'll come later. I'm also going to throw down these Spine Crawlers here at my 3rd, and the reason that I'm doing this is simply just for a little bit of a defensive position. I just feel safer having these right here because I don't have speed up yet, and speed is just starting, so it's probably a little bit late on that speed. You'd probably want to get that a little bit earlier, but I also know that he's not doing that pressure at the 8-minute mark, so I can feel okay because I did see the gas go up over here at its natural, and I have seen that 2nd gas. So now I'm going to move and watch to see if he ever takes a 3rd. Here he's going to start pushing in with these Stalkers right here. I have enough Lings that I can go ahead and deal with those initial Stalkers, and that should be enough to force him back till those Spine Crawlers get up. And once those Spine Crawlers are up, he's going to have to back off and wait a little bit longer. If you look at the income tab, I am at 60 drones right now, which is just completely fine. Production, I have +1 on the way for my Lings. And so now I can really start to kind of spam out units because 60 drones is a good drone count to be at this point for when I am defending his push coming up right here. So I'm going to also be throwing down an additional hatchery right there, as you can see, and the reason for that extra hatch is of course because Lings are cheap. Lings do not they cost a lot of larvae but not a lot of money, so a lot of times you'll find yourself running out of larvae. And so you just kind of want to be able to and the spike in APM right there is just me moving around doing all my injects for my queens and stuff. Don't mind that too much. But here I'm just going to be able to force him back. Once again, note I have vision right here. And so that's good because I can see anything that's coming. And here, okay, I see he has a lot of units. So what am I going to do right now? I'm going to use these units and get them in a flank position, right? So he's going to go ahead and back up, wait for another move, and this is not taking much APM at all. Right here, I move these Lings right here for this flank. I have these other Lings right over here, and so now this puts me in a great position. I send some Lings toward that pylon because I want to kill the pylon off. I send these Lings behind, and now I'm going to go for an engage. My APM was like 100 right there when I was sending all those units around, and now he's going to try and blink and do whatever he can right here. But it's not going to be very much. As you can see, my Lings are just going to completely obliterate his Stalkers right here, and I of course have reinforcing Lings that are going to continue to pump over here. If you look at the supplies, you can see that my supply count is up. I did kill that pylon over here, but now he does have another pylon over here, of course, as he is a smart player. So I'm just going to continue flooding some Lings over here. Of course, he's going to continue building Zealots now, because Zealots are greater than Lings in terms of the fight, but I'm just going to continue to kill these off, and the supply just keeps going in my advantage right now. And as you can see, just continuing to stream in, killing off whatever I can. And now I'm actually going to also add roaches into the mix. I did have a roach one that I threw down because, hey, eventually I'm going to need roaches to deal with all of these Zealots right here. So once these next warp-ins right here pretty much come in, I'm like, alright, I need roaches now to add into this army, and so I'm just going to start moving in with all of that. But as you can see, once again, if you look at the supplies, he's all in. I can see that because I have my Overlord right here, which I sent after I saw that gas. I look, okay, there's still no 3rd going up, so I know this is basically all he has left. He's going for this attack. If he doesn't win this, that's basically going to be the game. So now the roaches come over, I'm just going to focus down this pylon so he can't continue to warp in. And that's going to pretty much be it for him. He's going to fall back and try and do what he can, but I've got these 4 hatches up. I start throwing down an infestation pit once I defend that, because now I can transition into infestor tech. I'm going to be taking a 4th base here fairly soon, chasing down a couple of Stalkers, and this is pretty much the game at this point. It does continue on just for a tiny bit more time, as he tries to build up some units, etc., like that, tries to do something, but as you can see, he still doesn't have a 3rd. He's still very all in. I'm supply blocked, don't get supply blocked at that point. I am supply blocked, which is not good, but I'm going to be able to take my 4th, and the game is still pretty much over. So I can even just kind of speed up right here and kind of get through it. I'll continue taking my gases because I have the infestation pit up, so I'll be getting my pathogen glands here fairly shortly. And just continuing to build up this army, and as you can see, he's going to try and come in and do some pressure, but the Roachling army is just going to be too much for him to basically handle. He sends the probe over there, you just want to kill that probe off, make sure you can't reinforce that, and now I'm up 151, 276 supply. I do have pathogen glands not started yet, so that was a mistake on my part. That's where you want to start it. But as I can say, even then, that's not going to cost me too much in this game because I am so far ahead right now. It's not even close. 155 supply to 82, and he doesn't have a 3rd base on the way. He's still just trying to max up an army. I'm about 100 supply ahead of him right now, and so when he does things like this and tries to push out, I can just move forward with my roaches and basically just kind of keep him contained here, not let him get a 3rd base. I do have infestors out now. Okay, so I just completely forgot pathogen glands this game. That's what happened. I think I thought I clicked it, but I didn't have enough minerals at the time, so I'm going to have all these infestors stream in with not enough energy, really, to fungal. They're just going to get energy to fungal, so I'm going to fungal, blah, 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 but that's basically just going to be the end of the game right there. So I hope you guys were able to learn something. I hope that you definitely could see the decisions that I was making and how they affected it. The big one I think that I made was just the flank right there. I got up to those 60 drones because I knew I could, because he had taken that 1 gas and took that 2nd one even later. And so I knew I could get up to 60 drones right there and be fine. And then I started making lings. I got the +1. I got speed out in time to defend it. And then I came in with that flank. I had the lings over here. I had the lings right here. And I had the couple spine crawlers up. So when he pushed in, I wasn't just trying to attack like this, where he could blink back 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and be totally fine and continue that aggression. Instead, I crushed it because I just came in from around top and I had a full surround on him. So no matter what blink he tried to do, it always put him in a terrible situation. So my name's Mr. Llama. I hope you guys learned something, and I'll see you guys in the next video.